What Happened to Bones? 2005. Cast Tragic Losses and Secrets. Fans Never Knew 12 Seasons. One legendary cast. But the real story happened off camera. One star was secretly battling mental illness while the whole world watched. One beloved face is gone forever. And one cast member quietly became one of Hollywood's most powerful creators without anyone noticing.
I'm not a sociopath, I'm an anthropologist at the Jeffersonian.
Welcome back. Every case involves a death, but these actors faced real lives that were shaped by change and uncertainty. From its early air dates to becoming a certified legendary television phenomenon, the cast created an unforgettable journey that could never be duplicated. However, as the years pass, the spotlight moves. Certain stars keep glowing. Others walk away, while some sudden departures left the entire fanbase in shock. If you once loved them, today's emotional update will be impossible for you to ignore. David Boreanaz was 36 when he first stepped into the shoes of Seeley Booth, portraying an FBI agent who merged a soldier's grit with a heart for people. He was a man of justice, proving Booth was anything but a cold analyst. He leaned on intuition and the belief that every set of remains belonged to a person who truly deserved to be heard and understood. Carrying a military past forged by combat and the pain of loss, he bore emotional scars that often looked like pure stubbornness or a short temper. Yet these human flaws made him feel authentic and relatable to viewers. On cases, Booth was the bridge between forensic facts and raw human feelings, risking his life for the team while guiding Brennan through social worlds beyond her purely rational existence. Today, David Boreanaz is 57 and is seen as a rare, enduring television star. He is one of the few actors with consistent appeal. After this legendary role, he found success in many other major projects, especially within intense military action dramas, where his skill for playing strong, disciplined, yet emotionally vulnerable heroes shines. This style remains his defining strength. Michaela Conlon was 27 when she took the role of the vibrant Angela Montenegro, playing a forensic artist who rebuilt faces while being the team's emotional heart. She was the one who always saw the human story. She never failed to see the actual person behind every single investigation. Once a free-spirited artist who loved beauty, Angela chose to stay with them. She stood by a group of unique people who became her second family. While Brennan saw logic, Angela felt the world through her own heart. Angela experienced life through her emotion. This contrast created a very balanced and meaningful bond between the two. She never feared showing emotion, loving others, or even risking a broken heart. This gave her relationships, especially with Hodgins, a very real, deep passion. Today, Michaela Conlon is 48 and known for her very calm and graceful presence, and her emotionally layered work. After years of fame, she chose not to chase the constant Hollywood spotlight, instead picking indie films that fit her own personal and artistic interests, while also taking on smaller roles. Though her career is quieter, it stays steady, thoughtful, and very personal, a path she defined. T.J. Thine was 30 when he took the role of the brilliant Jack Hodgins, embodying a bug expert with a manic obsession for the tiny forensic details that most other people often overlook. Hodgins did much more than analyze soil bugs or microscopic traces. He found the secret stories hidden within seemingly worthless evidence, becoming the quiet force behind many of the team's biggest forensic breakthroughs. He was a wild mix of wit and rebellion, often chasing strange conspiracies. Yet he stayed fiercely loyal and remained remarkably well-grounded. This was most obvious in his deep evolving connection with Angela, where he slowly learned to fully open his heart, truly love, and embrace raw vulnerability. Today, 51-year-old T.J. Thine is celebrated as a performer with incredible, rare dramatic range, finding his true calling in characters that are both soulful and quite unconventional. Since his long-running success, he has kept busy with various high-profile television projects, across both TV and theater. While he avoids the constant glare of celebrity, he has built a rock-solid career and earned deep respect for his professional consistency. His artistic drive is unmatched. Tamara Taylor was 36 when she landed the role. As Camille Saroyan, she commanded the screen as the brilliant chief medical examiner. She was the powerhouse managing not just the laboratory but every complex operation. Her daily challenge was balancing cutting-edge science with strict, unwavering professional discipline. She acted as the glue among the massive, clashing personalities on the team. With elite medical training and nerves of steel, she thrived in high-pressure environments. Camille was always incredibly decisive and, when necessary, a very strict leader. Still, she always placed the pursuit of justice and truth above all else. Her working relationship with Brennan was famously difficult and filled with early friction. They were two brilliant alphas with clashing styles, but eventually found mutual respect. A deep-seated trust formed, transforming them into a pair of legendary investigative partners. Though she kept her emotions hidden, Camille's poise while managing every crisis made her a stabilizing anchor whenever the team's world fell into total chaos. At 56 years old, Tamara Taylor is now known as a powerhouse actress. She possesses a commanding, authoritative screen presence. Since finishing this iconic role, she has appeared in many successful television series and major motion picture projects, frequently playing strong leaders or complex characters with profound and hidden emotional depth. Even if some projects didn't reach global fame, her individual performances were brilliant. John Francis Daly was only 22 when he joined as the charming Lance. He played the gifted young psychologist sent by the FBI to analyze the team. Sweets lacked Booth's years of field experience or the grit of a veteran. He didn't have Brennan's scientific precision, yet he held a weapon equally vital. He could read the human soul. People often underestimated him because of his youth. His gentle nature hid a mind that proved psychology was much more than theory. It was a lethal tool for exposing hidden motives and the darkest human truths. His bond with Booth and Brennan eventually grew far beyond their professional roles. He became the heart of a surrogate family he had long been missing. In this circle, he didn't just help them connect, he unified their entire world. Remarkably, this path also allowed him to finally find his own personal healing. At 41, John Francis Daly is among the few stars to master Hollywood. He successfully transitioned from being a famous actor to an elite writer-director. After this role, he made massive moves behind the scenes in the industry. He co-wrote global blockbusters and directed major films, proving his immense creative vision. His incredible range as a creator extends far beyond his early days of acting. Eric Milligan was 31 when he transformed into the brilliant prodigy Zach Addy. He played a genius intern with a supernatural gift for absorbing complex forensic data. He possessed an encyclopedic brain, but struggled immensely to decode the complex landscape of human emotions. As the brilliant Brennan's loyal student, Zach viewed her as a goddess, an obsession that pushed him toward a dangerous edge where logic outweighed his moral compass. Driven by a robotic, mechanical mindset, he assumed that every choice could be scrubbed clean through the cold lens of pure rational reason, a philosophy that paved the way for a devastating and tragic fall from grace. After a master manipulator twisted his mind during a truly gruesome criminal investigation, his spiral wasn't merely about a bright career hitting a dead end. It was the heartbreak of a genius who couldn't tell good from evil in a world full of gray. Currently, Eric Milligan is 52 years old and is celebrated for both his acting and his resilient personal journey. After walking away from his career-making role, he stepped into a new chapter defined by survival. He took on various selective television roles, staying away from the frantic spotlight while bravely navigating the mental health battles he shares so openly with fans. By speaking his truth, he has evolved into a powerful advocate for those struggling in the shadows, gaining massive respect that stretches far beyond the screen. John Boyd was 33 when he stepped into James Aubrey's shoes, playing a hungry federal agent fueled by drive and order, determined to carve out his own space within a tight-knit family of elite experts. Lacking Seeley Booth's veteran status, Aubrey compensated with razor-sharp instincts and a fierce loyalty that cemented his position during high-stakes federal manhunts. He fused cutting-edge tactics with wisdom from the old guard, building his reputation on being the guy who actually delivers rather than just showing off his skills. His chemistry with Booth mirrored a master-apprentice vibe, pitting a grizzled icon against a rising star, sparking a dynamic that felt like a passing torch, balancing high-wire friction with a profound sense of legacy. John Boyd is now 45 and has secured his spot as a rock-solid industry veteran known for his grounded and authentic screen presence. Since leaving the show, he has been a staple in major primetime dramas, frequently cast as principled officers or complex men with hidden emotional depths. Although he avoids the flashy A-list spotlight, his career trajectory remains remarkably steady. Emily Deschanel was 29 when she transformed into the legendary Temperance. Brennan, a world-class bone expert whose massive brain power made her the Jeffersonians' ultimate weapon. Brennan wasn't just a genius. She was a survivor of a shattered childhood carrying invisible scars from a broken home. She used cold, hard logic as a bulletproof vest against the unpredictability of human connection. In her world, data was everything. Good feelings were ignored in favor of hard proof as emotions were simply noisy variables. This clinical wall created an electric friction with Seeley Booth, a man who functioned entirely on gut instinct and heart. Their partnership transcended simple police work, evolving into a soulful journey where two broken people finally learned to heal each other's wounds. Currently, the 50-year-old Emily Deschanel is considered one of the most gifted and respected icons in television history. She stands as a titan of consistency, a performer whose subtle layers defined an era. Her marathon run on the hit series Bones, lasting an incredible 12 seasons, cemented her status as a true powerhouse in the Hollywood landscape. Though she has seemingly stepped away from the blinding glare of the red carpet recently, she opted for a soulful balance, prioritizing her inner circle and family life over the relentless grind of show business. At 52 years old, the formidable Patricia Belcher stepped into the shoes of the iconic Caroline Julian, delivering a federal prosecutor whose icy stare and razor-sharp wit forced everyone in the room to snap to attention. Armed with decades of industry wisdom and a backbone of pure steel, she never hesitated to go head-to-head with the team, frequently putting Agent Booth himself in the hot seat, all to guarantee that every scrap of evidence was flawless and every legal argument was absolutely bulletproof. Yet behind that legendary no-nonsense facade she projected so well, lived a woman of deep integrity who valued the cold, hard truth far above any fleeting personal emotions. Caroline showed her love through a unique brand of tough love, ditching soft words for a brutal honesty that might have felt incredibly abrasive at times, but was always the exact medicine the team needed to hear. The electric chemistry she shared with the crew, particularly her back-and-forth banter with Booth, perfectly blended high-stakes friction with a profound, unspoken trust that fans found absolutely captivating and respectful. Fast forward to today, and Patricia Belcher is now 72, widely hailed as a seasoned industry veteran whose impressive resume stretches across several decades of top-tier film and television. Throughout her storied career, she has been the ultimate scene stealer in countless supporting roles, always leaving a lasting mark on the audience thanks to her undeniable gravitational pull and that unmistakable authoritative voice that fans know instantly. Michael Grant. Terry was just a 24-year-old rising star when he landed the breakout role of Wendell Bray, playing a blue-collar underdog who might not have shared the genius-level IQ of his peers, but brought something even more valuable to the table: raw grit and an unshakable sense of sincerity. Thrown into the high-stakes, cutthroat world of elite forensic science, Wendell became the ultimate relatable hero by working twice as hard as anyone else just to prove he belonged there. His evolving bond with the legendary Brennan and the rest of the Squints was rooted in deep-seated trust and mentorship. He navigated the steep learning curve, transformed his character, and slowly showed the world that a person's true value is measured by their heart and hustle, not just natural talent. The heartbreaking storyline involving his battle with cancer served as a gut-wrenching emotional pivot for the show, pushing his physical endurance to the absolute limit while completely reshaping his outlook on life and maturity. Moving to the present. Michael Grant. Terry has reached the age of 42 and has carved out a solid reputation as a TV mainstay with a Mayamtuik, refreshing and incredibly grounded acting style. Since his days on the show, he has stayed busy with various supporting characters in several hit series. Even if he is not constantly in the tabloid headlines, his professional journey has remained impressively stable and remarkably consistent throughout the years in Hollywood. At 32, Eugene Bird stepped into the spotlight as Dr. Clark Edison, bringing to life a forensic specialist who famously drew a hard line in the sand between his professional duties and messy human emotions, crashing into the team's dynamic with a stiff, almost robotic professionalism. Clark was the guy who demanded a strictly business-only atmosphere in the lab, flat out refusing to let any personal drama or office gossip contaminate their cold scientific analysis. This rigid stance originally alienated him from the tight-knit crew who operated more like a dysfunctional family than co-workers. But as the seasons progressed, the audience witnessed a fascinating shift as he showed a much more flexible side, emerging as a character who was actually ready to listen, grow as a person, and finally admit that human intuition and emotion are vital keys in the hunt for the ultimate truth. While rarely the most vocal, Clark acted as a grounding force, a reliable anchor whenever their world descended into total chaos. At 51, Eugene Byrd has cemented his status as a relentless workhorse within the high-stakes world of modern television and film. Throughout his career, both before and after, he has tackled a massive portfolio of work, including those epic, multi-season, long-running television marathons and cinematic features, proving his range in vocal booths and on screen, showcasing his versatile craft. He might skip tabloid headlines, but Byrd has quietly carved out a powerhouse reputation for excellence by staying disciplined and resilient within an industry that often forgets its veteran talents. When Carla Gallo stepped into Daisy Wick's shoes at age 30, she channeled a desperate, hungry, and ambitious intern who lived for validation, fueled by a burning need to prove she belonged at the top of the ladder. Entering a den of geniuses, Daisy became a whirlwind of raw, unbridled energy that was impossible to ignore. She was a talkative, high-voltage personality who often overwhelmed everyone around her. But behind that chaotic persona lay a heart of gold, a fighter who poured her soul into every single discovery. Brennan inspired her completely. Despite frequent failures, she would always bounce back and return even stronger. Then came the heartbreak, a devastating loss that shattered her world, forcing this quirky character to navigate the dark corners of mourning, transforming into a woman of depth and ironclad strength. Once dismissed as purely annoying, she proved that her raw honesty and fiery dedication were the very ingredients that made the team whole. These days, Gallo is 51 and has become a fan favorite for her uncanny ability to steal scenes as the eccentric. Sidekick figures. Post-series, she has remained a constant fixture on screens, gravitating toward those weird, wonderful, and hilarious roles she does best. Though she hasn't been chasing A-list glory, her professional path remains stable, with a bank account estimated at roughly $2 million. Page Vahdat was just 27 when he brought Arastu Vaziri to life, an Iranian intellectual defined by his stoic calm, razor-sharp brain, and a history kept buried deep. Originally, Arastu hid behind a thick, fabricated accent to keep people at bay. That wall eventually crumbled when the secret truth leaked out. He was truly American, admitting he used the persona as a shield against prejudice and to keep his guard up in a judgmental environment. This twist revealed a painful vulnerability, the desperate desire to fit in without being unfairly judged. As his journey progressed, Arastu ditched that protective mask, revealing a man of profound integrity and very strong personal convictions. During investigations, he bridged the gap between cold, hard facts and moral weight, hunting for the truth, while always searching for the deeper spiritual meaning behind it. Now, at 44, Pei Vahdat has successfully navigated the choppy and often unpredictable world of the entertainment landscape. Since his breakout, he has been a remarkably reliable presence across a wide spectrum of dramatic and cinematic films, frequently portraying intellectual roles with deep and complex cultural layers. While he might not be a household name, he has built a legacy on being a sophisticated and dependable actor. Ryan O'Neal was 65 when he stepped into the role of Max Keenan, a man whose life ignored the law. Haunted by a trail of past sins, he was a father desperately trying to outrun his demons for his daughter. Max was never the quintessential father figure. He was a career thief and a ghost on the run, a man thriving in the shadows between morality and crime. Despite frequent errors, specific cracks in character made him feel incredibly real. This man sought redemption through a quiet, wordless devotion toward his dear Brennan. Every scene crackled with thick drama, leaving us wondering if he brought salvation or peril. It also showcased genuine acts of sacrifice while he desperately tried to protect her ultimate safety. Their bond became a gripping emotional tug-of-war caught between the weights of duty and forgiveness. His life bridged Hollywood's past and present, but now Ryan O'Neal has died. At 82 years old, he passed away following a battle with congestive heart failure. He was an electric and prominent Hollywood figure throughout the 1970s era. He achieved legendary status in iconic roles before delivering this moving final career performance for us. His journey was defined by both spectacular success and intense personal public scandals. Despite periods of professional decline, he always remained a magnetic and unforgettable presence for audiences. Fans adored his natural acting style, which was rich with deep, genuine emotion. We thank you for staying with us until the end of this tribute. We are pausing to honor these truly timeless and unforgettable memories of him. If you still cherish these memories, please remember to like and subscribe today. This way, you ensure you never miss any of the stories coming next. See you again on our next nostalgic journey through cinema history.